Good morning, y'all. Today, in this particular video, I'm going to be making applesauce and canning it, and I'm going to freeze some apples, some slices, because I've got this thing here full of apples that I need to do something with before they go bad. And I figure there's enough there for me to freeze a few to make apple pies at some point. We don't eat a lot of pie, so I don't necessarily need a lot of apples for apple pie. So I want to do that. I want to freeze some for apple pie, and I want to turn the rest into applesauce. So that's what I'm going to be doing right now, is the slow task of peeling and cutting up all of those apples. But yeah, so I thought I'd bring you along on this to just show you how easy those things are. It's just a tedious process peeling all those apples. Okay, y'all, this is what we're working around. This cuteness here, eating some breakfast. Yes. Spencer tried to feed her. Her being interested in everything. Yes, and turning her head, making a mess. Yes. Was it good? Was that good? Was that good breakfast?
Spits it out.
That's okay. I got on a bib. Okay. So I'm still peeling apples, but I've got my pot full of apples right now for applesauce. So nothing's in here but water and my apple slices. So I'm going to get this boiling while I'm peeling more apples, and those apples will be the ones that I freeze. But right now, we're going to get this going and turn this into applesauce. I've not put anything in it yet because, as an added bonus, I guess, in this video, I'm going to take a little bit of it and show you how I make baby applesauce, baby food. So we don't want anything in it right now but the water and the apples. Okay, y'all, so my apples are cooked, and before I add anything to it, I'm going to blend it all up. So I'm going to get out my blender, mix it all up as it is, and then we'll take some out. And I've got these little jars that I use for homemade baby food. Now, when we put it in these jars, again, nothing else in it, but the apples make applesauce. We're gonna, I'm not going to can these. Now, if you don't can it, you can put it in your fridge, and it should be good up to 2 weeks. But don't make so much that you don't use it within that 2 weeks. You can freeze it also, but it's just easier if it's fresh. I will tell you can these, because a normal lid and ring will fit on this too. This is just a plastic leak-proof lid that we're using for these. So, and I've got 12 of these. I'm not making 12 jars of baby applesauce, but we do have enough of those to make, a couple weeks worth kind of baby food. So I'm going to do that. And then, oh wait, I want to tell you too, I'm going to, let's see here, look through, there it is. Yes, okay. So I'm going to tell you, because this video could end up being really long, what I'm going to do with the rest of these apples, I've got about a half a thing left, is I'm going to freeze them. And so I'm going to peel them and cut them up into slices and sprinkle just a little bit of this Fruit Fresh Produce Protector on them to keep them from turning brown or anything. And then I'm going to use my sealer, my vacuum sealer, with my vacuum bags, and I'm going to mark them and seal them, make sure there's no air that can get to the apple slices, and I'm going to freeze the rest of them for apple pie. You can go ahead and mix up apple pie filling and then can it and all of that, but I'd rather just do it as I'm making the pies. So that's what I'm going to do with the rest of these. It's really simple. Like I said, peel them, slice them. You don't have to use anything like this to keep them from browning. You can use a little bit of lemon juice if you wanted. But then I'm going to freeze them in the vacuum seal. You could can them. I mean, there's just lots of things you can do. But that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get the applesauce going and blending it up, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I've got my container here full. I can't really put much more in there. I've still got a little bit left in here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and blend this up and pour out the baby food and put it in the jars. And that should free up enough space that I can put the rest of that in, and we'll continue making the adult applesauce. So I'm just going to we just want to make sure we get all the big chunks out. So let me see here. Oh yeah, nice and smooth and yummy looking. Okay, so I'm going to finish this up. Let's open one of these jars here. And these are all cleaned. So we're just going to pour out, if I can do this here without making too big of a mess. So yeah, there we go. There's baby applesauce. So I'm going to label this up, put it in the fridge, and finish blending all of my applesauce. And I will add more in just a second. Okay, now that we have the baby's applesauce out of the way, I've poured, after we blended it, I poured it back into my pot. And I'm going to turn the pot back on. I'm going to put it on like low because it's already cooked. We just need some of the juices to mix with some sugar and everything to heat through. And while that's going on, I will be getting my canner ready so that we can can this. I might get 3 or 4 jars of applesauce out of this. So now what we want to do is I add a little bit of allspice, just a little sprinkling of allspice, and I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. These measurements are just my own. You can add as much or as little. You don't have to add any of this if you don't want to. You don't even have to put the sugar in it if you don't want to. But these apples are a little bit tart, not too tart, but just a little bit. And, okay, so we've got 2 teaspoons of that. So I'm going to put, you can do a cup of sugar, but I'm going to do a cup and a third. 1 1/3 cup. So here's, and this is a 1/3 cup measuring, so there's the 1. So I just need 3 more. 1. And the 1/3 cup. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to bring it back up to some temperature, mix this in, and like I said, once that's going, I'm going to get my canner ready, and we'll be ready to go from there. Okay, so I brought this back up to just before boiling, and I've turned my heat off on it. And to make sure that we can water bath can it, I'm going to add a little bit of lemon juice to it. And so we'll give that a stir. And I'm just going to let this sit here. I don't want it to cool down too much, but I'm just going to let it sit here. And while I'm waiting for my water bath canner, the water to start boiling, I can start this. So we're going to get our empty jars in here. So when it starts boiling, they will be sterilized. I've put a little bit of vinegar in with the water to keep it from clouding up. And so yeah, we're going to get that going, sterilize our jars, and then we'll put the applesauce in the jars and get canning. Okay, so I've got my water bath canner going. I've got my jars sterilized. Pardon me, my lids and rings in some hot water. My vinegar ready, and paper towel to clean the around the rim. So now I'm going to start filling my jars, and this is all you need to do. Just pour your applesauce into your jars. And this should thicken up a little bit. If not, oh well, that by accident. It'll go good with cooking ham or pork chops, but it should thicken up some when it cools. So, and we want about a ½ inch head space here, and I think we've got that there. Okay, and then all you're going to do with your cloth, a little bit of the vinegar, and I'm just going to go around the edge and make sure it's clean, there's no food spilled over on it. And we're going to get a lid here and put it on there, and one of the rings. I'm making a mess. And we're just going to put it on finger tight. Okay, and then we will bring these as we fill them over and put them in our canner ready to can. So I'm going to finish the rest of these and I'll be back. Okay, well it seems like I worked faster than my than this got up to a boil. So we're going to let this get up to a boil before we do anything. But I got 4 pint jars and a little one there, like a jam jar full. I always have extra jars ready just in case of moments like that. I'd rather have an extra hot, clean one than be running around trying to figure out what to do. So I've got them in there, and I'm going to let this come up to a boil. And at that point I'll put on my lid, and we will process these for 20 minutes. It's just 20 minutes. Basic, doesn't matter where, for applesauce. So, yeah, let this get to a boil, which it should be getting close, and we'll put the lid on it, and I will see you when these are done. Okay, y'all, so our jars are done. So now we're just going to take them out of the water bath. Just going to set them here so they can cool slowly on their own. And that's pretty much it for making and canning applesauce and baby applesauce. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was interesting, and I hope you give it a try, because it is not hard, just time consuming. So hope you liked this video, and we will see you in the next one.